Hey there! I've been asked by several people if I'll do a walkthrough of my gardens. They're definitely a work in progress because, as you know, we moved in last spring. So I spent the majority of last summer and early fall. I had this beautiful koi pond built, which I madly love. It has a waterfall and an upper. I've got hellebores, which I love. I think they're so sweet. They came up through the snow this year. One red rose I didn't plant. That was from the previous owner. More hellebores, hostas. Things are just starting to sprout. We got out here and cleaned up, but we need to remulch. But I thought I'd just show it earlier. Here's some heuchera, arborvitae. Around all of the main large trees, I encircled the base with hostas and some type of hydrangea. I think that's an Annabelle. I love these hellebores. They're like the prettiest chartreuse, almost lime green. Another hellebore. Got a Japanese maple. Don't remember the name of that one. I'll look it up. Some more heuchera, hosta. Oh, here's the gang. So, as you can tell, I made a deal with the geese that the big pond in the front yard was theirs and the little pond was mine. And Wile E. Coyote, this should be an ad for him on Amazon, does not deter them whatsoever. I just turned him around. His real fur tail, as they advertise. As you can see, they bathe in the upper pond. This is a hinoki, a small hinoki. Here's my larger hinoki. I don't know if you can see. We're kind of going through an eclipse at this time. I love hinokis because they have this beautiful, feathery, kind of flat greenery. Let's see if you can see it better in this one. There you go. Are you hissing at me? Can you say hi? Let them know whose pond this is, right? The mama on the right has a nest, which I'll show you, with eggs, which is pretty exciting. Got a couple of ornamental onions here. More heuchera. This heuchera I love. It's a raspberry, and it just glows. I've got some creeping jenny. More heuchera. I think this is a golden thread. Could be a lemon thread cypress. Creeping juniper there. Creeping jenny. Quite a few Siberian irises. I forget what this is. I mean, it's a peony, but it's a new variety, and it's a cross between a peony tree and a regular peony. I'll find the name and share it. More Siberian irises. This is a butterfly house that was my dad's, and I'm hoping that I will get butterflies in it, but that's what it looks like. I need to read up on it and see what you need to put in there for them. It's probably, 35 years old. Here's kind of a view of the pond. Another single red tulip. So she originally had a pond here. It was round. Kind of interesting. The house was built in 1935. It was a poured concrete ornamental pond. So it was quite a chore when they came to build this new pond. Got some boxwoods here. We had some grass sprout. I think some grass seed got in there. That's going to be a chore. There's a heuchera and another arborvitae, and I honestly do not remember the name. Over here, I did this as a butterfly garden. It's completely clean, but I need to mulch it, so not very pretty on the eyes. But there's quite a few hellebores. I have a giant guacamole hosta that literally takes up from about there to there. Quite a few hostas in this bed. Bleeding hearts, which I think are just the sweetest. I've got a couple daisies. More hostas. This one's a pretty, it's a climbing hydrangea. Delphinium right there, which I'm super excited about. It's a biennial, so every other year it comes up. So the in-between years, you rely on the seeds from the previous year dropping. Buddleia, several buddleias in here, my butterfly bushes. Urn I need to plant. More buddleias. I have silver mound over here and a big silver mound over there. There's sweet mama sitting on her nest. Yes, I think she's got 3 eggs. You go down the hill by the driveway. Here's my beautiful flock. I know we're right in the sun, so it's probably not a good time to be doing this. Another lemon thread cypress, another peony. Let's go up here. Another peony sprouting out. I need to clean these. Boodlia. And then this is a climbing Eden from Grace Rose. It got almost 8-10 foot the first year. I just love this time of year. If you come around here, you can see we've got 4 acres. And the woman that lived here before me, Lucille Brown, beautiful flowering dogwood. One of my favorite trees. You can see just how pretty they are. She was quite the gardener. So there's lots of really, really fun plants that pop up and surprise me. I have lots of sweet little violets in my yard. I don't live on a golf course. I think chemical companies have convinced us that they're weeds, but I love them. Then some would argue I bought the house for the driveway lined with peonies. Could be true. It was that or the arched windows. Here I've installed 2 espalier trees, if you're not familiar with them. It's a French way of growing fruit. And what happens is you have the main trunk of a tree and they either pull branches off or graft. These are actually grafted on, which means they take different varieties of an apple tree. They make a slit in the trunk and then they adhere this branch into the main trunk. What's really interesting, let me get back, about these is each branch is a different variety of an apple. So you have 6 types of apples on one tree. And the French discovered that if you pull branches sideways, it creates all these buds. I need to trim this off because you really just want one main leader. But it creates all these buds and you actually get more fruit. So what'll happen is, we've got another goose. We've got these here with the eye hooks. You'll put a cable in here. The cable will run down. It'll be 3 cables. 1, 2, 3. And there's 3 branches. This cable will run down the middle all the way to the end. And then you attach the branches to the cable. And that acts as the support. You can see this sweet little one. I think apple blooms are just so pretty. Here's a beautiful one. A branch. We're just working on getting this branch out. And then over the weekend, I decided it was time. On the upper part of the property, there's about 300 peonies. I thought it was a good time to go ahead and dig those up and divide. A lot of times they'll tell you to do that in the fall. As long as you keep them watered. There's another pair. Everybody's paired off. It's like Noah's Ark around here, 2 by 2, but it's all geese. If you go ahead and dig them, you're fine. You just may lose blooms. I love that view. I just think the redbud and that stone home. That's our Airbnb. We call it North Shore Cottage. It's a beautiful 4-bedroom stone home, all stone, that was built in 1936, so 1 year after my house was built. So I decided to go ahead and line this driveway with peonies. So all of these peonies, all 82 of them, all the way back, it's focusing on my hand, and around that tree, we did a half circle, are going to be the Sarah Bernhardt, or that's what we're guessing it is. These are the old-fashioned spireas, which I love. They bloom beautiful white flowers. There's a better picture of the house. Look at the size. It's enormous. The trees. It's just beautiful. Okay, and then along here, my pond. My other favorite area. Let me see if I can back out just a little bit. There you go. I decided I wanted a little bit of a buffer, a backdrop from the corner of the driveway. So last year I put in a rather large flower bed that mostly has peonies, 2 flowering crab trees. What else do I have in here? I have Siberian irises, coneflowers, which is echinacea. I'll use the common name. You can see here the Siberian iris right here, peonies right here. There's triangles of echinacea in several places. Something's digging by my peony. This is a viburnum. It'll get around 10 foot tall, 10 to 12 foot tall. So it'll be just a nice white flowering shrub. I've got more Buddleia here, flowering crab. Don't mind all the hoses, but this time of year, I just don't roll them up. It's too much work. Another Buddleia, Siberian iris, peonies, peonies. So you gather I like peonies. I just think they're beautiful. These are 2 moonlight and Paris roses. I don't know if you're familiar with roses, but you either get your own original rootstock that is actually the rose, or you get one that's grafted on. These are grafted on. I think grafted roses really struggle when we have those last cold snaps. I need to get in here. I'll fertilize them. I'll trim off all the dead branches and hopefully they'll flush. This is a white lilac. And then I did 5 red twig dogwoods. If you're not familiar with those, they're stunning. They have the most beautiful flaming red branches in the fall and winter, so it really adds a visual interest. I just love that pond. So that's our property for those that were asking for me to share. Here's a little walkthrough. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.